Good afternoon. We're about to start the next session, so please take your seats. Okay, thank you very much. We're going to start now with the first session of the last bit of our BYND 2015 Summit. Please make sure for this next session, it's very important that at least one person per table has his or her app, the BYND 2015 app, installed on their device, either iOS or the official tablets. So if you don't have anyone with a BYND app in your table, please let us know so we can rearrange. Now we're gonna take a look at some of the practical stuff we're gonna be using from the app on the next session. If I can please get the iPad shown. Okay, great. So, well, it's sideways, but you'll manage, okay? So, what we're gonna do, we're gonna start the session in a few minutes. We're gonna have a little time before the participants that were at Earth finally arrive. But we wanted to make a test with this so you can see what you're going to be using in some minutes. So you enter the app, you go in, and then you choose the day. And then from this drop-down menu, you just pull it up and up and up and up. And you go to the last option, that's the survey. On the survey, you're going to be having the closing summit survey. We want to have your opinions. We're going to be having one vote per table, so it's very important. Okay, let me see if I can. Perfect. Okay, thank you. Okay, so you go to the section Solutions to Change Your World. We're going to be having 2 votes, and these votes I'm going to explain further on, but it's going to be done per table, so you have to go reach a consensus. But the idea is to answer question 1, so you go and tap it in there. Don't vote yet. That's going to be later on. And then you choose the first question, and then you choose 2 of the options for your answer as a table, as a group, okay? And then you do the same for the second question. I'll be giving further instructions when the time comes, but we just wanted you to be familiar with what's gonna happen. Okay, so that's that. It's clear. Now, I would like to explain a little bit more of this next session. It's going to be a bit more dynamic. We're coming to an end. We want to hear everyone's opinions. We want to have your votes in order to finish up the declaratory that we're going to be taking to the United Nations as one of the main takeaways from this summit. And we're going to be having 4 panelists here to be sharing with us their ideas on the questions that we're going to be voting for, okay? So, first of all, I would like to, I don't know if you've been observing these past days, an amazing, talented, very creative person that has been working on with concepts and drawings and trying to simplify what we've been doing. So I just want to present you and thank Jack the Scribe for being here and making this conceptualization of the work we've been doing for the past 3 days. So please, let's give a big applause to Jack. Now we would like to show a video of some of the work he has been doing. Okay, now I would like to invite Key Portilla to the stage. Key is going to talk about the power of crowdsourcing, and he's also helping us put together a visual of the conference to having another takeaway from this summit, that it's going to be a visual product of what we've been working on. So please, let's give it up for Key.
Thank you very much, Melissa. Hi, my name is Kei Kawamura, co-founder of Studio Banana, a creative platform. I'm very excited to be here. I am actually not much older than most of you, and I feel very identified with, I think, with all of you, because you're probably having lots of dreams these days, big ideas, and you're wondering, how do we make this a reality? Keyword, dreams. I also feel very identified with you guys because when I was 17, actually, I met my partner, Ali, in a situation just like this. And we are now best friends and business partners. So keep your eyes open. You never know when you might bump into the person that changes your life. It might be here. So keep your eyes open. All right. Now, we like dreaming a lot in Studio Banana. You're probably also big dreamers. That's great. Now, there's a problem with dreams. Two problems, I would say. First one is that dreaming is a kind of solitary exercise. It happens in your brain. And in order to make it a reality, you need kind of public endorsement, right? Support from a lot of people, crowds. Otherwise, the dream just remains a dream, a nice idea that you had overnight, and it disappears. The other problem, and this is kind of a global problem, is that if you want to dream, you need to sleep. Can someone tell me here, did you sleep last night more than 10 hours? No one, right? Yes? Well, yeah, the hackathon guys. Well, as it happens, 100 years ago, before the electrical bulb was invented, humans used to sleep 10 hours per day. Now we sleep in Europe about 7 hours, in the States about 6 hours, in Japan 5 hours on average. That's crazy, right? So we don't have time to dream. Well, as it happens, Studio Banana, we have one of our offices in Madrid. We know in Spain, we know a thing or two about Spanish siesta. So we came up with this idea about how to make compatible work and dreaming, so work and sleeping. So we invented this device called the ostrich pillow, which helps you power nap. I don't know if some of you may have come across this name before. Anyway, it was just a crazy invention that we had one day overnight, just dreaming, and we made it public, and we started getting lots of people interested in getting one. We were actually not making it. We just made a prototype. We got in 1 month 700,000 YouTube hits, 180,000 likes on Facebook, and 50,000 tweets talking about this silly invention. And well, it kind of got a bit out of control. Maybe Benoit, you can. Black screen. Anyway, I'll keep talking. The whole thing happened in a matter of 30 days. We just launched the idea on our website, and we were just overwhelmed with the amount of people that needed this power nap. Can we please start the video from the beginning? And with audio? And with audio, please.
Pillow product. It's called the ostrich pillow.
This is a new invention called the ostrich pillow.
Keep in mind, it's called the ostrich pillow for...
Called the ostrich pillow. The ostrich.
Called the ostrich pillow.
Called the ostrich pillow?
It's called the ostrich, okay? It's the ostrich pillow.
Ostrich nap pillow.
La solution. So, you pop it on your head.
The idea is you put your head in here.
Alors, je vous montre. Vous le mettez sur la tête comme ça. Vous avez un petit trou pour respirer. On leave.
Well, you are learning, Ty.
You
Yeah.
let's go.
The Norman Rock.
You want to...
Excellent. It's quite tight.
Okay. I'm gonna go to disco like that.
just take a nap?
Every day.
Why would I put my hands in?
You can put your hands in like that.
Fully. So we need to put it.
And this.
And allows you to lie face down.
That's it.
Like this.
Like that and sleep anywhere.
Get comfortable.
But I mean, it looks crazy,
Does it work?
but it looks comfortable.
It definitely does if you do it there.
But you were right about elegant. Got to fight to get it returned to television.
Attends, cette capuche, c'est horrible.
It's obviously it covers your whole.
Of course, you could wear some balaclava.
You can show the receipt instead of a passport to prove you're an American.
Okay, you might not believe me, but we did that with $1,000 investment. That's the money we had to run this campaign. But the problem is that we didn't have money to actually produce the pillows and thousands of pillows that had been requested. So, well, we said, we're not going to give up on such a dream. So we thought, how do we make this possible? We thought, well, there's been such a great support from crowds around the world. Let's fund it also in a crowded way. So we launched the crowdfunding campaign. Again, we gave ourselves just 4 weeks deadline. It has to happen. If it doesn't happen, it's not a good idea. It was like our second test. And well, it happened. We got $300,000 in 28 days. It's not all our months are like that, by the way. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you is you guys should have big dreams, and you guys should try to test run them through crowds. And you guys should think that crowds out there will share, probably, if they are good dreams, they'll share your dreams. So dream big and crowd it up. Now, as regards what you're doing, I think you're making policy in a new way, in a crowdsourced way, and it's really, you're changing the paradigm in which global politics are made. You're really going to be leaders of the new generation, and you have a big responsibility, so you better get it right in the next 2 hours. Thank you very much.
Keith, thank you very much. I tried the pillow yesterday and it's amazing. Okay, now we're gonna invite 4 young mentors to the stage who will be helping us share their thoughts and collaborations for the next part of the session. I would like to introduce Felix Gonzalez, Inter-American Development Bank, from the Inter-American Development Bank, Broadband, a platform for progress. Take a seat. Dana Sijasheva, Advisor on Communication and Information from UNESCO. John Andreas Solberg, Lead Urban Youth Fund, UN Habitat. And Cheryl Miller, founder of Zen Digital Europe. Thank you very much. Now, please choose which tablet or which device you're going to be using per table, and raise your hand if you're okay and you have one per table, please. One tablet per table, it's all we need. And if your table has at least one, just do a thumbs up. Okay? Okay, thank you very much. Can I have a show of hands if you do not have a device in your table? Okay, so everyone has at least one device on their table, right? Yes? See? Yes? Okay. Okay, now can I have the app showing, please? Okay. So we're going to go through Okay, so we're gonna go into the question. Please, first of all, just hit the refresh button so we make sure you all have the latest version of the app. If someone of this table can lend me one of the tablets so I can lend it to them. Ah, okay. Okay, I have it here. No? Okay. Okay, great. So we're going to start with the first question, all right? We're going to go back to the tablet. We're going to hit the 8th of September button. Then we're going to see the drop-down menu, and we're going to go all the way down. We're going to hit the survey button. Okay, so the first question is, which of the themes of the summit should be the priority for youth beyond 2015? The maximum number of options you can choose per table are 2. So please hit it in, and then you will have 5 different options. Discuss, you have 5 minutes to discuss with your table and reach a consensus of, from those 5 questions, which are the 2 that you want to choose and submit. Okay, so I'm gonna have the timer now. You have 5 minutes as of now to discuss and come to a consensus. And later on, I'll ask 3 tables to share your views.
Changing the world, that goes without saying. And I think all the rest come along with entrepreneurship.
If any table needs help or has a question, please raise your hand and we'll be visiting you to the table.
But it's ours, so we should go for that one.
But I mean, change your world is not what everything is about. I mean, so change your world, that
Captures everything. And nothing. Hi, I'm Cheryl. Should we mic ourselves, or what's our mission? Should we mic ourselves?
If you want, yeah, because, okay, so the thing is, we're going to be having 5 minutes for them to choose, and then I'm going to ask 3 volunteer tables to raise their hand and share with us what they chose, and then I'm going to be asking two of you to share your views and explain a little of what you do in a 3-minute intervention for the first question, and then we'll go to the second question, the same thing, and then I ask the other 2 of you to share your views. So probably.
Entrepreneurship and innovation pulls heads.
Okay, I just want to remind you that the idea that is 1 vote for table is to generate discussion, right? So we would like you to come to a consensus, even if you are not very convinced. Try to reach up to a point that as a table, you're making a consensus decision of 2 out of 5 options. That should be the priorities.
Only if you agree. I think it's good for us.
Yeah, so if you want, you should be wired up in case.
That's for translation.
Yeah, translators, if you need them. Okay, in case. Yeah. Huh?
depending on the language.
Yeah, because since we're going to have people from the...
Yeah. Better on you because that one here really shows.
Not my good side.
For the ones that don't have a login, your login should be the number you have on your ID on the right down corner, and it should be the number in the username. Write the number at itu.org, and then the password should be that same number.
Urban settlements and the youth program, and you about ICT and women, which is an aspect that hasn't been highlighted. Importance of women.
Okay, I like that.
just suggest you have 50 to talk about weather.
I wouldn't say expert, but I work with
That's a big statement.
Yeah, I'm not an expert. I've worked with youth.
Exactly. Well, I promote actually underrepresented communities in getting digital skills and personal and professional skills. Largely through education, but also through policy changes.
We have 1 more minute.
Yeah, but what organization? We have a very nice restaurant in Nairobi, it's called Sandbar. I mean, it's kind of, it's not very digital, but it's very sad. But you're DC based? So we have a good, quite
What's
good.
your organization?
My organization, Inter-American Development Bank.
Oh.
But from Paris
Okay.
or
Really? Oh, nice. That was not good. I am doing this. It's so beautiful here. Really, it's like it is paradise. We went to the volcano restaurant. Yeah. No, what is it? I also know the other one. What is it? Arenado. Yes, we went to Arenado restaurant.
We will have 3 more minutes to discuss. If the app is not working, like the voting mechanism, don't worry. The important thing and the main objective of this part of the session is for you to discuss and come to a consensus, okay? So try to vote, and if it's not happening for technical difficulties, don't worry. Just keep on discussing. We'll have 3 more minutes.
I missed that because something was screaming in my ear. Maybe I shouldn't put it here. Where are you from? From Norway.
But I'm based in Nairobi.
So is that an upgrade?
Not sure.
Fair question, right?
Well, no, we have a. It is. No, Nairobi is very good. But to some, there is some. Is that African hub program for the UN. So it's a quite big hub. And it's the regional hub for cities. We have our hub there, then all the embassies is there, and all the UN.
So it's kind of like Washington and Brussels.
So I mean, the UN compound has, you would imagine.
You just have to answer the first question.
UNESCO doesn't have that many people like that.
No, that's all agencies.
Yeah, I'm saying in your whole organization. I think that's terrible, really. If you heard the recommendations on Get Ahead Day, they were saying we need a UN agency that's pushing education and digital skills. I was like,
Perhaps.
no one commented on it. No one stood up and said, well, can I ask, so you're Spanish based in Washington? Have you done work in the European institutions yet? Or
Well, I used to work in Europe, but for the private sector.
in the private sector?
But right now we only work in Latin America and America.
Because I actually, well, I went to school at Georgetown, so it's kind of my second home. I spent a lot of time in New York. So we killed Moscow and then
Brussels. Super ugly.
Brussels is not a bad city.
If I justify it by saying it's love related, does that explain? Because I Otherwise, it's not something I would have chosen. It's like apple,
Good
apple,
beer.
apple.
But you've been with the same company in most of okay. But so e-learning platform and this type of network, what's better? How's your instruments on your system? People.
Actually, we're talking to a Spanish company. In the U.S., it's quite mature. In Europe, it isn't. And there's not any. They're a university consortium that I can't remember the name. Who? No. We had our first meeting last week.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, please, we're gonna continue. I'm glad the discussions are very interesting. We're gonna stop now, please, so we can continue with the session. Okay, so now I would like to have a show of hands on which ones did you voted for as a whole. So just raise your hands if you voted for that as a table, all the members of your table. So if you voted for the Get Ahead, entrepreneurship, and innovation as a priority. Okay, raise your hand. We need to count. Keep it up, please. Yeah. Okay, if you can raise your table number up high and keep it there so we can count the votes. Thank you. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Please raise, you can put the numbers down. Thank you. Now, please raise up your hands and the table number if you voted for be healthy lifestyles as one of the priority themes. Okay, keep it raised, please. Okay, thank you. You can put it down now. Please raise your hands and your number table if you chose Be Smart, Be Safe online as a priority for Beyond 2015. Okay, please put the numbers down. Now, please raise your table numbers if you chose respect your environment as a priority for Beyond 2015. Okay, please put your numbers down. And last but not least, please raise your table numbers if you chose change your world as a priority. Okay, please keep it up. Okay, thank you very much. Now, I would like to invite Felix Gonzalez from the Inter-American Development Bank and Dana Ziyasheva afterwards, Advisor on Communication and Information from UNESCO, to share with us a little bit of what we do in a very short intervention, 2-3 minutes, and also what they think on this first question, please.
Hi guys, how are you? Good? Yes? In the meantime, while we get my slides ready, for those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Felix Gonzalez. I work for the Inter-American Development Bank, which is obviously a development bank focusing on Latin America and the Caribbean. We are based in the US, but we have operations all across Latin America and the Caribbean. And today, because we are talking about changing the world, I'd like to speak about a new form or a new way of exclusion that is digital exclusion. So all of us here, we have access to internet, to devices, to ICTs. But many people around the world, and in Latin America specifically, they don't have access. So we are working on that. So, go ahead, one more. So I like to divide the room into sections. One is going to be the OECD countries, so powerful countries, big countries in the world. And the second half of the room is going to be countries in Latin America and the Caribbean. And I want to try to show you this difference and this divide through the numbers based on the position that you have in the room. So for those of you who are in one of the OECD countries, in average, 1 out of 3 people has access to internet and to broadband. Broadband is high-speed internet access. Whereas you guys, if you are in Latin America, only 20% of you have access to the internet. So this is the first number that is at least showing this big difference. If you are in the OECD countries, the average speed of your connection is 20 megabits per second. Super nice. You can go on YouTube, you can stream your videos, you can download a lot of things. If you are in Latin America and the Caribbean, in average is 3 megabytes per second. And then if we compare the connection, taking into account only 1 megabit per second, if you guys are in the OECD countries, you are paying $7. If you guys are in Latin America, you are paying $53. So there is something here that doesn't make sense, and this is why we are working on it. At the IDB, I'm part of the broadband team, so basically we are helping countries, again, in Latin America and the Caribbean, expand broadband access and usage across all the countries. And we are working around 4 pillars infrastructure, so basically the cables, the antennas, all the things that we use. Capacity building, so basically helping people use the technology and bringing access to the technology with devices. The third one is public policies, so helping governments put in place and enforce the proper policies on the infrastructure side, on the capacity building side. And finally, the last one is the strategic regulation, also helping government. So this is basically what I'm doing. Thank you very much. And just very briefly to reply to the question. So I agree with the rest of the panelists. So I think the very first one, entrepreneurship and innovation, actually is the means for all of the rest. So if we are entrepreneurs and we can innovate, we can be safer, we can be smarter, we can be greener, and obviously we can change the world. That is basically what you guys, if you want to be entrepreneurs, should keep in mind. So what you have to do is to try to change the world, even if it's only around you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Felix. I would like to invite Dana to share some thoughts. If you want from the table, is perfectly fine.
Yes, hi everybody. My name is Dana. My name is Dana Ziyasheva. I work for UNESCO. It's United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. If you are interested in knowing more about what we do, you are welcome to visit our website. It's unesco.org. I would be brief, and I would talk to you without any notes prepared. I would just talk straightforward to you, not as a UNESCO official, more as a person. I consider myself self-made woman. It's been 18 years I work with UNESCO. I've been in UNESCO headquarters in Paris. It was very nice. Then I worked in Iraq, in Kurdistan. It's on the border with Iran during the embargo. I worked also in China, where we covered North Korea, Japan, countries very worlds apart, yet neighbors. And now I'm based here in San Jose, and we cover countries, the whole Central America and Mexico. So what I learned during all this time with the international organization is that if you want to advance, if you want to move, you should have curiosity. Don't think that, okay, once I've got a nice office, once I've got a job security, once I've got access to the latest gadgets, IT gadgets, then it's fine. I'm on top of the world. That is not true. I mean, it would get you to a certain level, but it wouldn't get you far. What you need to keep, what I advise you to keep, is to keep your curiosity. Be always curious about people around you. You know, each time I go to a country for a prolonged period of time, I fall in love with the country. I'm interested in learning the language, the culture, how people think, how they function, how the society is arranged. Because once you understand that, you would feel part of this new environment where you found yourself, and you would understand the needs of people. And once you understand the needs of people, then you can design, you can establish a strategy, and you can design a product that would be popular and that could spread and actually start kind of bringing benefits. It could become your new employment. That is related to the topic how to get ahead. Innovation and entrepreneurship, it's not only, it's not only that, okay, I have the access to, I have the latest PC, the latest model. Before it was Apple, now it is Samsung, like I have it, that's it. No, it's actually it's modern technology is what you can make with your head. What ideas can you generate? Because ideas, they move forward. The ideas are at the core of entrepreneurship. New ideas are at the core of anything that could change the world. So I'll give you one example. When I was working in Iraq, I had to organize training for 500 secondary teachers in 3 provinces. And the training was how to develop interactive methods of teaching, how to interact with your students. And imagine, it was under embargo, so all we had chairs, tables, and blackboards. What do you do in this situation? How do you explain teachers the concept of interactivity? How? And that's where you need to use your head, and you need to use your brain. What I thought, I just tried to appeal to their senses. So for example, when I was starting my training, I said, like, close your eyes, guys. They closed their eyes, and I said, now try to imagine, for example, a river. And each of them was imagining, and then I would say, okay, now open your eyes, tell me, what did you imagine? One person imagined hearing the river. Another one imagined swimming in the river. So it's different. Some people visualize it. Some people hear it. Some people, feel it through, like they have sense of touch more developed. So this is when we started, and I said, well, this is how you can actually, by appealing to different senses, that's how you can develop interactivity. So you don't basically need the computer screen. If you have computer screen, all the better. But if you don't, you have to be able to explain your concept without using technology, without any support. That's what would be good. Because if, I don't know, probably all of you are coming from big capitals or capitals of their countries. But if you go a little bit farther in majority of the world, and now it's not only, we can't really develop divided developed world, developing world. In every part of the world, you have some areas that are very much cutting edge and some areas that are simply backward in any country right now. So basically, if you go outside, you would see that there are people who have no connectivity. In some places, there is no, drinking water, etc. So once you understand the situation, once you're curious in exploring it, once you're not afraid to go far, take a boat, take a horse, and you go very far and you understand how people live, then you will be able to develop a product that would cater to their needs, and that would people would vote for it. And people vote nowadays, everybody votes with their pocket. I mean, of course, I'm UNESCO, that's not what we do, but if we're talking about entrepreneurship, even now, in the farthest villages, people, for example, have mobile phones. So, what do you do? If you understand the situation, then the next application that you might think would have huge success around the world is a mobile application, for example. What kind of mobile application it could be? So that's my advice to you, that I think that's my idea how we can combine both entrepreneurship and changing the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dana. Now we have the results of the first question and what you all voted. So I want to ask 3 tables to share in a 1-minute intervention what was your discussion about and how you reached the votes that you submitted. Please, can you show the computer input? And can I have a microphone on that table that I can't see the number so they can start sharing their views? 41? Can you please stand up?
Hello? All right, so I think, you hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I guess first, the one thing we could all agree on is change your world. And I think, at our table at least. And our reasoning behind that is this. I think nothing is possible for us until we have a place at the table, until there's some kind of sustained structural mechanism by which we can get involved in the international policymaking process. I think it is very important that we are able to do this because we bring very unique perspectives, skill sets, and knowledge bases to this. So that was the Change Your World. The next item that we selected was respect your environment. And to be honest, we came to this after some discussion. It wasn't an automatic thing. But after really talking about things, what we decided was that none of these other things, creating jobs, being healthy, none of this is going to be possible until we begin to recognize that we need to do something about our current models of development, our current models of society, of living in society, and that it is important that we tackle all of the environmental issues that are challenging us today. So that's sort of how we came to this conclusion. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Another table?
Good afternoon. Well, we had a short discussion, and basically we got to 2 points. We were a little bit anonymous, but it was a hard discussion. We got first for get ahead. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you please stand up, please? Oh, I'm sorry. And someone get me some eyeglasses too.
Okay. Okay. Again, good afternoon. Well, we were discussing, and it was not easy to find out what will be the priority, because all these topics are very important, and they are matter for all, I think. First of all, we catch up on Get Ahead, and that was anonymous. It was very important for us to understand that we need to give those access information. I mean, we need to give youth the access to empower their rights, and also to empower their active participation throughout the communities and schools, and also through the country. We find out that if we had the best tools, or if we had the information or the right information on youth people, they could get those tools or those opportunity to, you know, how can I say, that they can get the opportunities to grow, to make their country grow, to get better opportunities for healthcare, for job, for better education. That's what we found out, that Get Ahead was really important, and also that when people could get ahead, and we could share our ideas between youth, maybe we could find out specific points or focus points where we all agree that it's important to change in our world. The second point that we discussed was the respect your environment point, because I think that we were throughout this conference we have been talking about different topics, but unfortunately I have not heard enough about this topic, considering how important and critical is to think is the matter of developing a sustainable society and a sustainable world. Right now, we can give the youth the tools to get ahead, but they need to understand that they need to grow their country, and they need to they need to do it in a sustainable way. Why? Because we cannot put over our growth in society, putting the degradation of the environment. We need to do it equally. We do not have to select in a quarterly life or in a quarterly environment. We need to have those aspects growing each other together. So we find out that respect your environment was one of the most important topics that I think that we have not discussed very much, but hopefully it's going to be taken in account. Thank you very much.
Thank you. A third table, please. Number 6. Ah, no, they're already there. Okay, thanks.
Buenas tardes. Nosotros estuvimos hablando sobre las prioridades que consideramos deben estar. Seleccionamos Get Ahead.
And because the first thing that we have to remember is that we can create a better world starting from our own villages and localities and places. We have to start taking action, not just to change policies, but we are the ones that will benefit. Or in that case also, because many of the policies affect us, we are the ones that can generate change within our communities. We have the space to see the differences in technological advances, education's needs. So we believe that if young people get the opportunity to develop their potential for creation, innovating, dreaming, taking their opinions, and as governments, we would like to acknowledge what volunteers do. Everything that starts from the heart, to start solving what the government should be considering as part of their agenda and their work. So it's many organizations that start as nonprofit organizations to try and respond immediately to the needs, to help welfare, to help people that don't have a home, to even add to international organizations and to support what the government is providing us as individuals. So the more curious we are, as we heard, the more we take the risk of getting to know the experiences of our colleagues, of everyone that's beside us, anyone that we run into on the street, regardless of their social situation, then we will understand their context better. And that way we can understand for ourselves and keep on changing. Because I might be a great leader, a world leader even, but my values will determine the decisions I make in the future. I think that we all have the passion. Some have passion for technology, for the environment, for development, but we all have passion. We need to have spaces opened up so we have the opportunities, or that we empower ourselves and we dream and believe that we can do it. So we all believe in our table that together we can build a better world, and each one of us has a great responsibility. We were discussing amongst ourselves that it's a difficult task. Politics, ideas, and we will never be, we will always want something more. But we can't just sit around and say, this is so bad, and war will always exist. There will always be problems. We will never know if we are going to be capable of changing or improving the world if we don't act. That's why we're here. Thank you.
Thank you all very much for your reflections and comments. Now, I would like to welcome the Colombian Hub to connect with us and share their views on this question, please.
Okay. Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo están?
Bien, muchas gracias.
Very well, thank you. We would like to give them the welcome. Give them the welcome, please. Cheers. Can you hear us? As Boys Man, we would like to let you know.
The case of young people that live in different communities in our country through the different workshops that we have been doing. It's important to remember that in terms of the response to the questions, we are interested in a priority for us is innovation and entrepreneurship, because this is what is going to support processes. And we found the last question very interesting as well. We wanted to participate also in the end because it's the response to change your world. I think that young people always believe that a way to change the world is to invest in education, invest in social innovation, investing in communities. In Colombia, especially in our region, we have a high rate of digital illiteracy, so we are doing many surveys where it says that 0.5% of young people are the ones that know how to use applications for mobiles and other devices. And in the urban sector, in the cities, is that, and in the rural areas, there's a lot of lack of knowledge in what even is an application. So it would be great to have even less the possibility of developing applications. So it would be great to have that. We have to create innovation for the community. Many times young people have many barriers of access to formal and non-formal education, especially professional education. So in these sectors, there's a lot of ignorance in this matter. So it's always good to raise awareness and to let the world know what we think. So thank you very much. There's a big problem. We have a request made by young people here regarding the word processor. We should have options so that these programs and applications to be developed in our own language, mother languages, that we can write up a letter or anything we want in our own language. I'd like to share some of the conclusions. But then with Twitter and everything, we have been following up on that, and we'll continue sharing the ideas we have over here that will also be reaching out to our communities and everyone that wants to participate. We thank you very much for the opportunity of intervening. Thank you. Thank you. These are very important ideas, and personally, I agree with everything you said. In Latin America, we have a big problem in that sense. So go ahead and continue online for the rest of the afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Sure, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, now we're gonna move to question number 2. So please connect to your devices. Again, drop-down menu, go down, survey, and just pass it to the second question, which is, which actions should decision makers prioritize to put youth at the center of the global agenda? And you have also 5 options, and you have to choose maximum 2 options for this answer. So now you can have time to discuss and come to a consensus as a table, and later on we'll go around with the voting.
I have very high expectation and hope about the statement of the BYND at least. It's not to allocate human financial resources to advance the goals, but actually the best way to get things is to have this sentence.
And I think the third and the fourth one are pretty much the same. Basically bringing youth into
Well, there's, and the fifth is another
exactly. Those are the
institution. So it's just a question of what's the better channel, and I would say the fourth one is more interesting. It's kind of out of the jurisdiction.
What dedicated space?
Social status within ministries and national governments. It's not really working.
No, but that's one of the things we are advocating.
Sure, we can advocate it. National youth ministries.
And of course, this is which actions decision makers. It's not what it's decision makers.
I agree with you. Third and fifth.
Well, 4 and 5, yeah. But if you have the channels.
Okay, remember that the whole point of this is to discuss. So if you are not having the same opinions as your colleagues, please try to convince them and generate some discussion so we can really share each other's views and not only accept what one person of the table is saying.
I don't really know what they're make of formal links between national youth ministries and the office of special envoy. But I mean, there's not all countries doesn't have national youth ministries either. So
I was going to say national youth ministry. In Spain, we don't have a national youth ministry.
Europe, we don't have. This is kind of a developing country. No, no, we have. I mean, you have, of course. I mean, you have a ministry for children and children, youth, and gender equality in Norway as well. But it's not the same ministry of youth as you have in that. Of course, the interesting part is how everyone seems to come from youth support. Do proper youth empowerment and actually talk about policy and politics is something hidden within someone's sport. Just put up enough soccer fields and you're doing right for youth. It's a lot of urban youth is basically what they're driving the Arab Spring and Turkey. That's it.
You know, the fourth one I think is more actionable than the fifth one. You know, if you can create the mechanism and it's not bringing youth into the, I don't know how they call the embassy in the UN or whatever, you know, it's like the first step because I'm talking about Spain. We don't have that. I mean, there is no connection between youth and politics. Nothing. Nothing in Spain. I mean, we have this youth council and actually the government increased the budget so they will get rid of it. So there's this, you know, so at least if we have the space to communicate, that will be wonderful. So,
you know, I would say number 4 is really, but also I mean the office is an important step, but putting it's also a matter of resources, of course, there. So if you increase the resources, you can get. Then, of course, what you.
I mean, you need to allocate it wisely.
But to some degree, that idea coming from and it's been taken by.
Okay, we want to welcome the people that are coming from Earth. Please take your seats and join the conversation. You have 3 more minutes to reach the consensus, submit your vote, and so we can move on. Thank you.
First, to dedicate more time to consider views of young people is not very
What is time?
Yeah. And also, I mean, just to consider the views. It's not even listening to them, but considering the views. So how to actually get it in the first place. It ended as someone has gone crazy with the climate air conditioning.
We have 1 more minute.
I would say number 4. And? You need 2. And the first one that you like. Depending on the goals. So we want decision makers to put 2 at the center of the global agenda.
Yeah, no, that we agree on. But the first one, allocate human financial resources goals so that beyond 2015 something.
So you got the idea, no? You basically will be brought, will be asked to give your comment on all these questions, and then present what you do. That's a little bit briefer than you were a bit too long. It's a platform for the youth, is there? What to talk about?
Bien, ¿no? ¿Me he portado bien?
Sorry, so you got the idea, no? So you comment on what you're discussing, and then you explain what you do. And please follow Felix's model, so more to the point. No, 30 minutes short.
I promised that I will break the rules.
Okay, thank you very much. Time is up. Please wrap up your discussions now so we can continue. Thank you very much. We're going to continue now. Now we're going to do the show of hands first. So please reach your consensus. Be silent so we can start, continue the session, please. Okay. So for the second question, which actions should decision makers prioritize to put youth at the center of the global agenda? Silence, please. Thank you. Please raise your hands and your table number if you voted for allocate human and financial resources to advance the goals of the BYND 2015 statement. And keep them raised, please. Thank you very much. You can put them down now. Please raise your table numbers if you chose to take note of the outcome of the BYND 2015 GYS. And keep them raised. Are we good? Great. Okay, you can put them down now. Please raise your table numbers if you chose to dedicate more time at national ministerial levels to consider the views of young people. Okay, please put your hands down. And now, please raise your table numbers if you chose to create dedicated spaces, mechanisms with official status within ministries and national governments. Please keep them raised so we can count your vote. Thank you. Now you can put your numbers down and raise your table numbers if you chose to create formal links between national youth ministries and the Office of the UN Special Envoy on Youth to drive action on a global scale. And please keep it raised. Thank you very much. You can put the numbers down. Now I would like to invite John, Andreas, and Cheryl to share their views, a little bit of what they do, and also their views on this second question, please.
Can I go first? All right. I think, well, as usual, we came to a conclusion pretty quickly. And our only comment is that these are all valid objectives, and it just comes down to a bit of semantics. Creating dedicated spaces and mechanisms with official status within ministries and national governments is a really great objective, but it's to do what exactly, to represent whom, and to support how. So maybe it's just a question of articulating the goals a little bit better. But that's the one that we are standing behind. How that's connected with what I'm here to talk about today is not exactly a one-to-one relationship. I actually like the first question a lot better, and that's because we were deeply involved in building and deploying the Get Ahead Day at this event. And I consider that an honor and really a great success that it resonates so much with all of you. So thank you for letting us be here as Zen Digital. That's the name of my organization. We are not a public sector company. We are a small enterprise, a social enterprise that has a mission of reaching communities around the world that are not getting digital skills, that don't necessarily have the personal skills, the human touch, and then the digital skills necessary to be innovative and to change your world. So the first question resonated with me a little bit better. If I can just articulate two other things that I think are really important is, I really love this event because I'm humbled by the fact that I'm even on the stage. I think it's much more important that we don't sit here and talk about what's important to youth, but that you guys talk about what's important to youth. That really bugs me, actually. So this event has been really amazing in the way that you have had a voice. So bravo, we should definitely do more than that, and then link it to mechanisms and spaces where you can actually make things happen with those objectives that you've created. The other thing is that I really don't like talking about what we should do. The workshops that we ran here were about actually giving you skills that you can use when you leave this place. So let's not sit and talk about what we all can do. Go out there, find the problem. Actually, you don't have to go far to find a problem. It's all around us, right? Whether it's sustainable growth, whether it's health, whether it's access to technology, clean drinking water, violence against women. I have to put that up there because that's one of my personal priorities. Let's not talk about what we're going to do, but identify a challenge that's out there and just go out there and tackle it yourselves. I've got a network that's doing just that, that has a global mission, and frankly, I need all of you. Not only I need all you, but the people that we're trying to reach need you. So join me. Let's do something really practical. When we leave here today, let's plan our next steps. Because, yes, change the world. Yeah, we need to change the world. That is a priority. But actually, it's you who are going to change the world. So get out there and go do it.
Thank you very much, Cheryl. Please, John Andres, share with us your thoughts.
Yeah, for me, I'm coming from UN Habitat, one of the many, many UN agencies. And for us, I would say this is a one-to-one relationship with what we're doing. Just how many of you come from urban areas? Quite a lot of you. How many of you consider yourself young? quite a lot of. So basically, you're in my target group. UN Habitat is the urban organization of the UN. Another question: how many here have heard about Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues? The Permanent Forum of Indigenous Issues. It's a UN forum for indigenous people. How many have heard about the Permanent Forum for Youth? Anyone heard about it? That's quite impressive, but it doesn't exist. Because at the UN, we don't have these structured mechanisms here. I mean, we agreed that the dedicated space mechanisms with official status within the ministries and the national governments is a really important thing. But what UN Habitat is pushing, we should have the same at UN. Why should we preach to the national governments to put up formal mechanisms for youth participation in governance, and we don't do the same? That's yesterday, the Secretary General, Ban Ki-moon, launched the World We Want report. And one of the things he said was there's obviously a global appetite for participation. More than 1 million has taken the survey, The World We Want, globally. And what's amazing is that at least half of them is below 30 years. So, I mean, 500,000 globally, like us, has taken the survey to tell the UN and the Secretary General our priorities for the SDGs. But also what's fascinating is that, I mean, close to 30-40% is offline. So you have really good people, young people, volunteer, going around with papers in slums, other places where there's offline, they don't have internet. So they're asking one by one, what's your priorities? And then afterward going back to their scout houses or guides or whatever organization has done it and punch it in. So you have almost 40% of the 1 million has been offline. So it's really a global survey. One of the things I do is managing a youth fund. So UN Habitat, we give grants to youth groups globally that do amazing things. So the youth groups themselves come up with the project they want to do, and they apply for us for funding. Some of the things they do is using technology and ICT to change their communities. Anyone heard about Kibera? One. That's a quite big slum area in Nairobi where I live. Close to 1 million people living in a small area of a bit more than 2 square kilometers. It's quite dense. That, one time in history, that was a forest. The problem is that Kibera is informal settlements, slums. Slum is not a pretty thing. But there's a lot of amazing people living there. So you have a youth group called Map Kibera. They taught other youth how to use small GPS. After that, they walked around in the slum, mapped out the whole thing. Then suddenly you had a map of the slum. For the first time in their life, people living there could go online or on a paper and pointing, that's my house. That's where I live. For the first time, imagine someone else than you know where you live. And then, of course, also mapping out where's the schools, where are the health clinics, where are the water posts, where are the toilets. But then, what do you use? So you have technology. Technology is a tool, it's never a solution. You can have, I mean, amazing apps, but if no one uses it, I mean, it's just an app. So technology can never be the solution, but it can be a quite important tool. And what Map Kibera is doing, they're taking this base map, then they're going out asking the people living in slums, so where do you feel insecure? Where's the rape going on? Where do you get mugged a lot? Then they make these thematic maps. So suddenly they can go to the politicians and the police and saying, maybe you should spend a little bit more time in that area, because there every night young girls getting raped because there's no light there. So then they go to the municipality saying, maybe you should do something with the lights. But before you have a map, you don't have the information, you can't take informed decision. The other small example from what type of project we're funding is from Cairo. A bit more people have heard about Cairo than Kibera, I guess. One of the problems in Cairo is sexual harassment against women. So then, one of the youth groups there, Harassmap, if you go online, harassmap.org, what they do is using technology to map out sexual harassment against women, putting everything up on the map, crowdsources, and then that's technology. What you do, you have the information, then you take one step further. You go out to the community, talking with the people, talking with bus drivers, taxi drivers, restaurant owners, people that's hanging around on the street, talking about what's sexual harassment and saying that this is not really a good idea to have. And then if they agree, okay, we want to fight against sexual harassment against women, they get a sticker they can put on their restaurant. This is a harassment-free zone. And then talking with the bus companies, so talking with the bus drivers, what's sexual harassment and what's not. And then they badging the bus companies saying this is a safe choice for women. This is harassment-free buses. And then after a month of tracking this and using people that take the buses, if no one files any reports of harassment for a month, then they get the sticker saying this is a safe choice for women. That's how you can use technology to change your community. Just on the last one, create formal links between the national youth ministries and the Office of UN Special Envoy. We talked about it. It's a good idea to have more resources to Ahmed's office, but we're not really sure what you meant about these formal links either. So back to the semantics.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now we would like to hear some of the ideas and topics of discussion that you were having in your tables. So if you could please volunteer so we can go to your table. Yeah, if you already presented on the first question, please let others comment their thoughts, please.
Hello.
And also, I would like to remind you, if you could please speak slowly, but within 1 minute. So it's a double challenge. Thank you.
Hello. Is it working? No. Hello. Yeah, now it's working. So we voted for point 3 and 4 because we thought that, first of all, the second point is not clear enough. Oh, sorry.
Can you give another microphone?
Hello? No, yeah, this one is working. Okay, so we voted on idea 3 and 4 because we thought that youth has to be more involved in decision making. One of the problems with Take Note of the Beyond 2015 Global Youth Summit is that Take Note was a problem with that clause. What we understand in Taking Note is that they will give a paper to all the diplomats in the GA at that moment, and if they want, they can read it, and if they're not, they won't. So Taking Note is not implementing. Taking Note doesn't mean that the ideas will get out of that meeting room. Dedicate more time at national ministerial level to consider the views of young people. It's different. It means that youth will be involved in decision making and create a dedicated space and mechanism with official, whatever it says. It means that what we get of that is that it can be youth parliament can be implemented. A youth representation, a regional youth representation can be implemented, and we can have discussion, debate between real policymakers, diplomats, politicians, and youth. That's it.
Thank you very much. Now the second table and third one's over here, please.
Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah? Can you hear me? Well,
Excuse me, a parenthesis first. Can you please show us the computer input so we can see the results? Go on, thanks.
Well, I'm going to speak in Spanish so I can speak a little bit faster so you can put on the device. Bueno, nosotros elegimos...
Okay, we chose the option number 2 for one reason, very important, for one important reason. What we're all doing.
If we don't take note of everything we're doing here, we're gathered, then it doesn't make much sense to come together. So the UN has to make sure to look at what we're doing and listen to us, but there has to be a reason for that. We also chose the 4th option, create dedicated spaces and mechanisms with official status within ministries and national governments. We chose this option because we find it important for us as young people to be empowered in our governments and ministries to make joint decisions together with government leaders. By having an official status in our countries, that would also show that we have some kind of representation, whether we have a special envoy or other representatives in UN councils. That means that youth would have a voice from all countries in the UN besides the representation we have with our presidents.
Third question, third table, sorry.
Bien, muchas gracias. Muy buenas tardes.
Thank you, good afternoon. In our table, we have chosen points number 4 and 5, essentially with the idea of thinking globally, acting locally. This session and the whole summit has been a great opportunity for us to look at common ideas with people from several countries and multiple stakeholders, and to look at priorities for the future. It would have been interesting to have even more time for these ending reflections. As we had so much time for the hackathon, it would have been nice to have more time for us to think about and decide on what we're going to tell the UN. But it has created great opportunities, many steps forward to get all these ideas to come together. And this should continue through our proposal. But we can't just remain with the global, because we have problems coming up in our own countries, in our own communities. So we have to go lower. We have to have space in our regional and local governments as well, not just national, so that we can make decisions that are geared towards the needs of each community. And that's why we chose those two.
Now we would like to connect with the Brazil Hub. They've been following us during this session, and we would like to hear their views on the question number 2. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
How are you? It's great to have you here. We would like to hear a little bit more on your thoughts on question number 2.
Okay. So we have been debating here while you guys are also debating in Costa Rica, and then we also have someone to draw what we are debating. So we're gonna use some graphic design to help you to understand what you have to say. But basically, what we want to say to world leaders is that when we think about how can we express the new priorities, first of all, we have to be listening. They cannot take ideas from nowhere. They have to listen to young people. And we have more than 3 billion young people in the world right now. And how can we do that? We have been seeing examples from ITU, which is conference, but we know that more than 4 billion people have no access to internet at all. And in Brazil, the numbers is bad as well. We have only 20% of people connected to broadband connection. So we're thinking about whether to include people who may be using cell phones and SMS as well in this process, as some countries in Africa did through the My World consultation. So in that way, we can have sure that our views are being debated, not something that they just came up from some places and from other interests. And in that way, I also think that the debates must go from the international level to the local level, because we're feeling that the debates are mostly at the international level, and then anybody on the cities or the smaller cities do not know or either understand why they are so important. So for you to know, in Brazil, the MDGs, we are good with the goals, we agree with them, but when you go to the cities, the smaller cities, nobody even know what they are. So this is a very good, this is a professional we have, so that we find ways and means that the debates also go down and they go, and from down go to the top as well. So we can include everyone in this process, and the process is present in every one of the levels. And for that to happen, we need young people to be in each and every level of the process, so I guarantee that the message is passing by as it comes. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, we would like to thank everyone connecting from the hubs, all of you here, and also, what's going on? Oh. Well, the hubs, everyone that's watching us via streaming, all of you here for participating, and of course our panelists, thank you very much. Thank you. Also, we would like to welcome Ahmad Al-Indawi, the UN Secretary General Special Envoy on Youth, who just joined us. Thank you very much for being here. And now we're gonna move towards the hackathon competition results. So I would like to welcome Lilian Marin and Luis Diego Riamuno to share with us what happened there. We're very excited and very eager to hear all about it. Disculpen, si nos pueden ayudar.
Please help us out with the table here so that they can have their presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. My name is Luis Diego, my colleague Lilian.
Lilian Marin.
Well, we would like to start telling you a little bit about the hackathon that we just had in the previous 36 hours probably. We started on Monday by 3 p.m. And when we announced here that we still had open registrations, we had a lot of interest of participants here. And at the end, we had 15 teams, over 60 participants from 18 countries. So that was really impressive. People from all around the world getting together to work. After just a few minutes, they really get into each other, working on 3 specific themes that we have decided, which are education, environment, and health. And with a plus, so some of our mentors, and in the ideation meeting, they were asking requests to develop projects aligned to the ODMs, the development
Ops and
but you know, that's nervous. Okay, so at the end, after 24 hours, we had the final presentations with 3 panel of judges, 1 panel for education and 1 panel for environment, 1 panel for health, composed by 1 expert, 1 technician expert, 1 thematic expert, and 1 representative from organization. At the end, we had 5 projects on each theme, and at the end, the judges decide or choose the semi-finalists, 2 projects on each category, okay? And those teams are on education, team 0, and the team with the digital evaluation system. On health, the teams are Vida Health and, Baby Health and Vida Map. On our environment, the project Green Activist and Car 0.
What's going to happen now, we're going to call 3 winners. They are the part of the finalists we have yesterday, and they are the best teams of the whole competition. We're going to call them and make a small presentation for 5 minutes, and you're going to vote. You have to use your tablet to vote the best application you think is. So we're going to start with the first category, is education. We're calling the team Gold 0. Please come to the stage. We're going to announce the participant of the team. Amanda Meng. Nekabari Esoga. Yeah. I need your laptop to present the application now. Alex? That's, go there and see for the moment. Nekabari, are you here? Where are they? Sorry?
Should I go look for them?
Where are they?
They were just here. They were right behind me when I walked in, and now I don't know where they are.
None of them are here?
Yeah, they're here, like right outside.
You cannot test him or something? He's here. Welcome to Nekabari Zoka, part of the team Gold 0. Give an applause, please. Let's welcome to Alice Estelea and Diana Brown.
Where again? Is it going to log the computer?
Okay, here. Laptop. You need a laptop, right?
Yeah, they should buy it. I don't have the texting set up. Just talk about it.
No, you have 5 minutes.
Okay. No, I need the HDMI.
We don't have it.
Sure, I can use this too. So we just go straight from the platform. Yeah. This time.
Okay, guys, you have 5 minutes. Here we go.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and we want to say thank you all for the opportunity to speak with you all today. This is sort of a brief demo of our platform that we came up with known as Goal 2. Alex here was a web developer. Dina was also a developer. Amanda and I are from the sort of social science background, and so we presented kind of the economic analysis to why this thing would sort of work. So, essentially, we were tasked with how we can use ICT to address the Millennium Development Goals pinned in 2000, something that we spoke about here in the first session here. We selected the goal of, we were selected, for the goal of education. And so we came up with a mobile-based platform that would allow students, teachers, and parents in developing countries to really sort of use mobile platforms, to use mobile apps, use this mobile app to sort of engage policymakers and see the ways that specific gaps that sort of exist in policy, and then in that way it will sort of inform government leaders the better ways and the best ways, to I guess implement policy solutions for.
I'm so sorry, we have a technical problems, so we have to start again. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no. No te
Just
preocupes.
hold on a second. They will give us the sign, and you can start again. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. No. I think that's it, yeah.
Okay, it's here.
Wait a second, give me a second. No, we can do that one up. There we go. Wait 1 second, I don't...
When you're ready.
Can I... Give me 1 second to fix it because it's not working. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, tell me when you're ready.
Go.
Okay, one more time. On behalf of everyone here at the lab here at Georgia Tech, we want to say thank you for this opportunity to address you today. This is Alex DeLea. My name is Nekabari Goka. This is Dina Brown, and this is Amanda Mang. We sort of combined to come up with a mobile-based platform that sort of addresses a lot of the policy gaps that we see in developing countries. So just a little bit of background information. We were tasked with how to use ICT to help address some of the Millennium Development Goals that we mentioned here in the first session. We were selected, or were chosen to address the goal of education, which is Millennium Development Goal number 2. And so in doing so, we said we wanted to build off of existing infrastructure in developing countries, in this case ICT or telecommunications platforms, and see how we can develop a mobile app, a mobile platform in which students, teachers, and parents can do a better job of informing their policymakers of the reasons that they're not going to school. Again, Millennium Development Goal number 2, is the achievement of universal primary education all over the world. So we figured, okay, there might be sort of gaps in policy to why governments and policymakers don't necessarily know why their students are going to school. So we figured, okay, we'll use a mobile platform, a mobile app, something that governments can use, students and parents can use to inform their government leaders, and then governments can also use to do sort of a cross-country or cross-sectional data analysis of what's actually going on, how this app works, and what sort of policy interventions are needed to make sure that education is reached. So Amanda is going to sort of dummy you guys with the demonstration of the platform.
Okay, so what we're looking at right here is a map visualization of which countries are on target for achieving MDG2, the universal primary education. The darker blue is closer to 100% completion of primary school, and the lighter blue is not quite there yet. So you can hover over and see the country and the primary school completion rate. We also built in a search feature, so you can go over and search for a specific country, and the map will navigate you to that country. So let's go ahead and click on Costa Rica. So here, once you click on a country, it takes you in to see over time how the primary school completion rate is increasing and what policies have been put in place to reach 100% primary school completion rate. If you scroll down, you can see the policies listed, and it may be having to do with educational materials, teacher training, or it could be a conditional cash transfer. It could be investing in anti-malarial. So the coolest part, though, about this is that you have a live feed to the right of text messages coming in from students, youth, parents, teachers in Costa Rica that are saying why their kids aren't going to school. So what we're trying to say is there's this gap between the local knowledge of why kids aren't going to primary school and policymakers who are making decisions about intervention. So it could be in this area that the roads are really bad, and when it rains, they can't get to school. And so they'll text in that that's why, and policymakers can have a more informed decision. So it's this really great exercise in open government and ground truthing what kind of policies need to be put in place. So Dina's going to talk more about the SMS.
All right, so we, in addition to building this website, we built an application. It's an SMS application. We developed a version in English and Spanish. And as Amanda said, the idea is that Parents, for instance, or the students themselves could text in information about really why they maybe missed school for a day. And so the application is very simple. The first question it asks is, if someone didn't show up to school, a teacher could ping the parent, for instance, and say, why did your child not show up to school? It gives them options. So the parent could say it's due to road conditions, and then give more details, and that's what gets integrated here. The idea is that we want to integrate crowdsourcing into this to kind of give citizens a platform so that their voices, their issues can be heard, so that it's not just they won't come off as just not sending their children to school, for instance, but that all the issues can be visible. And so overall, our team name is Code Zero because we really believe that zero should be the number of children without a very basic primary level education. And so that's kind of the whole goal of our project, is to kind of tie in government and policymakers so that they can all see interventions going on, and then to tie in crowdsourcing so citizens can also play a role in moving policy forward. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. You can go downstairs and sit over there. Leave it like that. Thank you. The next team to present their app is Vida Map. Let's go. Alejandro Martinez, José David Mora, Khalilat Kadabadi, and Melanie Castro. Give an applause, please. Okay, thank you. No tenemos HDMI, así que...
Ya, no pusimos nada. Oops.
Tenéis 5 minutos. Okay, guys, you have 5 minutes. Go.
My name is Khalid, and I'm from Kuwait.
Hi, my name is Alberto. I'm from Spain, and I'm an Android developer.
Hi, my name is Alejandro. I'm a web developer.
Hi, my name is Melanie, and I'm from here, Costa Rica. So we are here today to show you an application that will make you have a healthier life without paying anything.
Lack of outbreak awareness. Does any of you know what cholera disease is? Hands up, please. Does anyone know what the cholera disease is? Do you know that? Do you know that it can kill you within hours if not treated? Do you know how to prevent it? Please put your hands up if you know how to prevent the cholera disease. Hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, now I'll pass it on to my technical team that will explain more about the application.
So what we built is an open platform for health alerts to be pushed and to create a map that represents all the health alerts in the world, in any place, at any time. So you get a map, I don't know if it's on that screen, which you can click and access all the information for all the symptoms and prevention and treatment for any given disease. And you can also set for other places, for example. Yep. And all this information gets updated dynamically. From where? Well, we also got a mobile phone app, which Alberto is going to show. This is me. He's trying to unlock the phone.
So this is the Android app. It's very simple. First, it gets your GPS location and it finds exactly where you are. And with that, it gets the alerts from exactly where you are. So here you have the case for Costa Rica, San Jose. So with that, you click the information about the alert you want, and you get the description, the symptoms, how to treat it in case you get it, and how to prevent it. And it's very easy, just like that. And we also integrated one more thing into the Android app. We integrated the map. So right from the Android app, if we get it loading, it takes to load because of the internet connection. So yeah, you can search any place around the world, get the alert for the place you're going to be traveling to, and all that from an Android app. But there's one last thing. You can also add alerts. This is an open platform. What we want is the user from all around the world to be able to add alerts from the places they are living in. And with that, they'll be able to give back the information that they know of their country. So for example, if I want to go to República Dominicana, people from there might have added that they have cholera there. And with the app, I'll be able to find it and be safer when I go there.
And we can submit it. And once it's done, it automatically appears in the app. In this case, I added supposedly yellow fever. And if it's in here, here is the alert. It takes a bit because of the connection. Here is yellow fever.
So there it is.
Alerts and notifications. I'd like to just explain briefly on that. For example, if I want to travel from one place to another, a place, and I will concentrate, because here a lot of us are like youngsters, I will concentrate on AIDS and HIV. Let's say that I went to a country with high rates of AIDS and HIV. Once I enter, we'll use the geolocation, and it will alert you instantly, and it will tell you that the rates of HIV in that country is high, and that you need protection. It will alert you on a daily basis, and this is something that we can actually play around with.
We want to make this a community-based platform with open APIs and based on open data for around the world, and make it a source of health alerts for use not only for our own apps, but also for other apps.
So imagine a gigantic database of disease alerts from all around the world. And also people can comment on the alerts they have in their own countries. For example, if I get cholera, I might say the experience I have and how I managed to prevent it. So please sit back for a second. Imagine the lives we could save with information, how to prevent it, etc. Please think about the lives we could save with Vida. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Let's welcome to the team the winner, the finalists from Environment. Team number 1. Let's welcome to Miguel Cayetano Ureña. Edward Umaña Williams. Luis Alonso Murillo Rojas. Y Marcela Amador Salas.
Vamos a proyectar acá.
Sí. Uy, perdón. Remember, guys, you have 5 minutes. Ready?
Ready.
Go.
Well, hello everybody. We're a team from Costa Rica. We developed for the theme of environment the app called Green Activism. I'm sorry. Okay. The Green Activism app was born from a question we see every day. In Facebook, for example, we see every day people posting pictures of environmental problems happening now. And they see and they say, okay, this is happening. And people comment and people share. But what's the problem there? It stays on Facebook. That's not what we want. We want to go further. We want to go to the government. We want to go to other entities who can help us fix this problem and help us have a better place, a better country, a better world. So you can log in from Facebook, and if you are afraid that something might happen to you, or you just don't have Facebook, like some people do, you just go as anonymous. You place enter, and we have this. The first thing we wanted to do is to create the best example of environmental conservation. So we placed endangered species as an avatar, a mascot you have to take care of. So we have the turtle and the frog. They're both animals who have species in problems of extinction. So, for example, in Costa Rica, the golden frog is about to be extinct, and the sea turtles are too. So we have the points, the level, and these points are not earned by buying things, spending money, for example, in all games on Facebook. These points are earned when you help some institution and when you post complaints and when you make some activism. They're only earned by that way. So you have to do something in order to this to grow. So in complaints, we have to, can you go back, Mika, please? We have a list of the top complaints. So these are the complaints who have more signs. So when you select one, it shows this, the explanation of the complaint, a picture, and the entity who was notified about this. So every time you hit on sign, can we go to complaints, please? Every time you hit on sign, we did this. We wanted to create pressure, to make pressure to the ministries and the government and the entities to not be ignored. That's a big problem we have all over the world. A tendency for conformism, and we don't want that. So every time someone hits sign, the people send an email from their account. We avoid spam because it's not just one account. The more people, the more emails. The more pressure, we can get things faster. And you can hit share. When you hit share, well, this post on Facebook, we have a lot of posts of 4 of us to share and more people to know it. So we can go to activism. Activism is a part where you can propose some policies, some laws, something that can make change to the place you live. So we hit the policies, we have again the top, and we go to the description. You have the description, you can upload a photo or choose from your gallery. You have votes. The more votes, the more events you can create for it. The more possibilities to make something happen. So it thanks you, and you get points by that. And your turtle or frog can grow. So we have to the last one point we have, that is conflict zones. This is something we wanted to do because it gives you a global aspect of what's going on. So you have conflict zones, you have a map. Every time someone denounces about the amount of people denounce something on a country, it creates red points. The more red points on somewhere, you know there's a problem there. So governments can see that. They can see there's a really big problem somewhere and they have to do something. So ministries help, governments help, people help, and we're all involved in not just on Facebook. So, pura vida, we want a better world. Thank you.
Crear, subir y foto y todo eso.
Okay, how do you like the apps, guys? Did you like? It was fun. They developed this just in 24 hours, non-sleep. We had a lot of Red Bulls going around and people sleeping on the floor. That was very fun. Music, somewhat good. But now we want you to have your own deliberation, your own discussion in your groups, your table groups. And in about 5 minutes, you are going to vote about who's the best project, who's second place, and who's third. So please discuss about it, talk about the apps, and consider things like the innovation factor, the creativity, the scalability that you found on these projects, and we'll go back to you in about 5 minutes. The design counts and the usability. Yes, it's only one vote for each table.
Se acaba ahí.
Hello, remember that you have to get a consensus on your tables. Are you be voting by table? By table, okay? 1 more minute.
Remember, it's one vote by table. You have to agree with which team you're going to be with the winner.
Okay, let's go. Silence, please. We need to get the results now. Lilian Marin. Lily. Okay, we need the results now. So I will ask you to vote all the tables that want to give their support to the team number 1, 0, the first project that you saw. The person who wants to give their vote for that project. No. Okay. Silence, please. Silence. Okay. The groups voting for the first project that you just saw, Goal 02, please rate the number of your table now. Okay, please. Okay, now we're voting. We need 1 vote for each table. The tables that want to give their vote to the first project that you saw, Goal 02, vote now. Okay?
Is that clear? Okay. We're expecting that you have to be agreed. Each table have a vote, okay? No, each participant. The vote is by table. So we're going to vote. The first presentation is the team number 15. The application name is Goal 0. And you're going to vote now. Please raise your hand who is going to vote for. Raise the number of your table who wants to give the vote to this team, please. You are not allowed to vote. 1, 2, 3. Keep raising the number of your table, please. We're counting. Tengo 3 de este lado. ¿Contaste este de aquí? Okay. Okay, thank you. Now we're going to vote the second presentation. It's team number 8, Vida Map. Please raise your hands. Raise the number of your table, please. I repeat, we're voting the second presentation. The team is number 8. The app name is Vida Map. Thank you. Now we're voting for the last presentation. The team number is number 1 and the application name is Green Activist. Please raise the number of your table. Okay. Thank you very much. Now we're going to call. I left my paper. May I pardon? You want to make a comment? Okay, well, hold on a second. I will call you someone with a microphone.
Hi. Okay. Well, hi. I would just like to say a couple of things. First, we as a group, when we were discussing who to vote for, we thought that it wasn't very fair to have 3 very different apps about very different topics in the same category. And also we feel that it's not even polite to have an open vote when we're supposed to vote secretly with the apps. So we think that's a little disrespectful for all the participants. And maybe next time, and maybe also next time the vote could be individual, because it's very hard to maybe reach consensus at a table, especially when there's so many people from Costa Rica. Well, I think it's a little biased.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your opinion. We deliver what the judges deliver, and they decide. They are the best applications on their categories. I know it's not that fair that you have to consent in every table to decide who must be the winner, but unfortunately we have a few technical problems again. And they're supposed to be using the tablet to vote each one of you. But I'm so sorry for that. It wasn't expected. Next time we try to do it better. So after announce the winners, we want to give a special mention and a special gift to the other 3 teams and finalists of the competition. I will call them to the stage, please. Finalistas. Okay, I want to give an applause to Team Digital Evolution. Please come to the stage. Vida Health as well, and Car O2. Please come to the stage. We want to thank you for your participation. The second finalist of the education category, would you mind to come to the stage, please? Falta un equipo. Tenemos. Vida Health, are you here? Come to the stage, please.
We're going to recognize their effort and the fact that they were finalists in the competition with a little gift from our sponsors.
This is a prize from the People Vision. It's for to thank you to participate and to have the second place as a finalist. Give it a applause, please. Thank you very much to the People Vision for this present and the team for the competition. Yo no sé el nombre del viceministro.
Okay, just before announcing the winners, the first, second, and third place, we would like to invite to the scenario our Vice Minister Roland Espinosa and Minister Alejandro Cruz to give the prizes and a special mention to the winners. In the third place goes to Vida Map.
Que salgan para aquí. Ya, pero tienen que recibir los premios primero. We thank you to Samsung for these prizes to the third place. It's a Samsung Galaxy 4.
Second place, go. ¿Ya lo llamaste?
No. Well, we're going to announce the second place. Ta-dan, ta-dan, ta-dan. Second place goes to Goal 00. Come to the stage, please. Go closer.
Thank you.
Photo?
Picture, please. Come on. Don't be shy. Thank you very much. And the winner is
Lily.
Yes.
I think that the first place stays at home.
Let's invite to go to the stage to green activists. I forgot to say that the second place get a Microsoft Surface tablet. I'm sorry.
What they're getting?
Thank you to Dell. They're giving us a laptop with a lot of gadgets. Thank you very much, guys, and congratulations. Thank you, Vice Minister and Minister, to come here. Do you want to say a word to the winners, please?
In fact, hello, good afternoon. What a pleasure to be here with you. I want to congratulate first all the participants because of the effort, the enthusiasm, the energy, and the passion they put in in the competition. Of course, the ones that were mentioned initially, the third and the second and the first place, congratulations to all of them. Success in your life. Be smart, be healthy, get ahead. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Minister. Last thing to close all the hackathon competition. As you know, this is a competition of a group work, hard work, staying awake for a lot of hours, working hard. So we want to give a special prize for a team who work in an application that was really good as well, and they touch two categories at the same time. We want to call to the stage team number 10. Amanda Maria Morales is here. Cesar Daniel López. Eric Amel. Boumakar Maboub. Come to the stage, please. This is an applause. It's a shame that the whole team is not here, but we'll be sure that they get their prizes. We just say.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup pour votre présence. We're going to give you the prizes. Thank you, Nokia, for this prize to the special team as a mixed talent. Thank you very much.
And thank you very much to our sponsors, Microsoft, Intel, Dell, and all of you that were present, Claro, especially to Carolina, and all that were present with us during the whole hackathon. Thank you very much.
I want to thank you as well to the mentors who was working as well with us early in the morning, late at night, coming from Ericsson, coming from Noon, coming from Intel, coming from different companies who help us all the time during these 24 hours. for me, it was more than that. Thank you very much, for everyone, and good luck.
Thank you very much, Lilian, Luis Diego, and everyone who participated. It's very interesting to have seen all this mixed talent and all these ideas and hard work and sacrifice and amazing outcomes. So really, this competition was just like a motivation and a Kickstarter to really get all of you, the ones that participated in the hackathon and the ones who didn't, to reflect upon how many things we can create. We don't need a lot of resources, we don't need a lot of time even. If you have an idea, go for it. So I hope that everyone involved or not had learned from some of the new skills and knowledge and inspiration from the rest of the participants. So thank you again, everyone, for participating and everyone for voting as well. Okay, now it's time for us to take a coffee break. So we'll be back at 5:30 p.m. Please be super prompt because we are going to have the closing session of the summit with the appearance of President Laura Chinchilla. So let's pay her our respects. Thank you very much and see you back at 5:30.
Hey. Sí. Sí.